That's what the WNBA is. It's a gay soap opera. And we just had the star character, Caitlin Clark, not get along with one of the, fill-in or extra characters or, secondary characters in the WNBA. DeWanna Bonner, a six-time All-Star, 14-year veteran. Their big free agent acquisition this offseason, it just didn't work.
So she wants to go with her fiance and hoop and hump. She just want to get a lot of humping in with just a little bit of hooping on the side for her last year before she retires. She stinks. She's a disgrace. DeWanna Bonner is a disgrace. DeWanna Bonner has quit on America's team, okay? The spotlight was too bright and the pressure was too high, okay? She came to Indiana and she realized that things weren't going to come easy to her because she thought that things were going to be easy in Indiana. No, baby, you're playing for America's team. This team don't get whistles. She thought that she was going to get to this team and get the vet whistle. Every time she got in the game, she raised her skinny toothpick little arms. What? No, baby, you don't get that foul in Indiana because they don't like the white girl that saved this league. That's what you signed up for, DeWanna.
Obviously, there were reports today that DB doesn't intend to return to the team. Just what conversations have you had with her and with the front office about that?
Yeah, I had a lot of conversations recently. Really been focused on the group that we have right here and what we need to do to position ourselves to win.
The environment in Indianapolis with the Indiana Fever and their fan base, it's way too heterosexual for someone like DeWanna Bonner. They play a style and a pace that doesn't fit DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner got benched. She's their big free agent acquisition. She starts out the season horrendously. Can't score, can't contribute, and they end up benching DeWanna Bonner after 3 games. Their big free agent acquisition, who played the year before with Stephanie White. DeWanna Bonner is awful. They had no choice but to bench her, but they bench her for Lexi Hull.
DeWanna Bonner is a disgrace. And the reason why I say she's a disgrace, because not only did she leave America's team to go hump with a little bit of hooping on the side, because that's what happens in this league. That's what happens in this league. A lot of humping with just a little hooping on the side. America's team had way too many expectations for her. Way too many. They wanted DeWanna to actually play basketball. And she got here and she said, hey, God damn it, hey, shit, we gotta actually play? There's fans here? God damn, now I just want to just kind of coast and chill. I didn't come here to play basketball. Who the hell came here to play basketball? They have fans in this arena.
Yeah. Do you kind of detail, I think she talked about how it didn't exactly go how she wanted in that. What exactly that entailed for you guys and her?
Yeah, I mean, obviously DeWanna's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, and one of the best that's ever played our game. We were really excited when she decided to come here in the off season. And, as we got into the season, she just expressed that she didn't feel like it was a good fit for her. We talked through that. We had conversations. Obviously, we made some adjustments to lineup, some of the things we were doing. And we just couldn't get it to a place where, it felt good for her. And, so as we got further along in the process, we explored trade options. And then just, it's pretty early in the season, given the level of DeWanna's contract, we just couldn't find something suitable. So
now I got to get the hell out of here. There's fans. These are real sports fans, and they want me to perform? I'm not about to do that. No. I don't even have my hump partner here. My hump partner is in Phoenix. I want to go to Phoenix where I can just hump and pretend to play basketball, because that's what this league was when I became the star, when I broke records. That's all that happened in this league. Everybody was just humping with a little bit of hooping on the side. That's why it took 500 games for all these records that have been put out to be set. Caitlin Clark White Sheets has came in this league and broke multiple records in 50-something games that took these hooping and humping players 200 games to do. That just goes to show this league is unserious, because you have these old guards like this that gets to a real team that has real fans and say, I need to go somewhere and hump. It's not enough humping going on around here for me.
Apparently heterosexual woman, and I just don't think this went well and went over well with DeWanna Bonner. She quit the team on June 10th. For personal reasons, she left, and there clearly has been off-the-court drama affecting Caitlin Clark. And I think some of it revolves around DeWanna Bonner, but some of it also probably revolves around Natasha Howard, some of it another free agent acquisition, front court player, some of it perhaps Kelsey Mitchell. And I love Kelsey Mitchell, and Kelsey Mitchell's a great player, and she seems to love playing with Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. But just the chemistry on this team is not right. It's been poorly put together. There's no big picture vision.
At the end of the day, we respect her status as a veteran in this league. We had the opportunity to bring Aerie back around the timing with the 10-day wait period, so we just felt like it was best for all parties to part ways. Wish her nothing but the best. Sorry it didn't work out, but we move on, and we're excited about the team that we have on the court. And yeah.
The decision to have her not be with you guys was listed as personal reasons. Was that a team decision, or was that a Bonner thing? Both? How exactly would you characterize that?
Yeah, I think as we were going through the process, it just felt better for her to step away, Again, as we were sorting through what it was going to look like, if it could be a return, exploring a trade, again, it wasn't a decision that any of us made lightly. So it was a lot of conversations, and again, as we got into that process of exploring a trade, and we knew it likely was not going to be something that was going to last the duration of the season, we gave her that opportunity to step away.
Caitlin Clark walked into this season ready to lead. With expectations sky high and all eyes locked on Indiana, the pressure wasn't just on her shoulders, it was on everyone in that locker room. But from day one, there was a name that came up again and again. A name fans believed would be the perfect veteran anchor for this young team, DeWanna Bonner. At first, it looked like the perfect pairing. Caitlin, the young superstar ready to change the league, Bonner, the experienced vet who had been to the top of the mountain before. She was supposed to guide, support, and help Caitlin navigate the brutal grind of a WNBA season. But something went wrong. Fast. Clark never said it outright. She doesn't have to. Her tone in post-game interviews, her body language on the court, and now, the sudden shift in the team's chemistry, it's all adding up. And fans, they're connecting the dots. DeWanna Bonner was brought in to stabilize the Fever. Instead, her presence seemed to do the opposite. As the season started, Indiana looked scattered. The energy was off, the rotations were clunky, and Bonner, the supposed leader, was struggling to contribute. Reports say she averaged less than half the points she did last season. For someone earning top-tier salary, that drop-off raised questions. But the bigger issue wasn't her stats, it was her mindset. As soon as she lost her starting spot, she vanished. No press conference, no statement, just a quiet exit under the label of personal reasons. At first, fans were sympathetic. Maybe there was a family emergency, maybe she needed time, but week after week passed. Still no update. And behind the scenes, things were unraveling. Clark, who looked up to Bonner, now found herself having to lead a fractured squad while dealing with her own adjustment to the pros. And then came the confirmation. Bonner wasn't planning to return. Not due to injury, not due to a crisis. She simply didn't want to be there anymore. Let's be clear, this isn't about drama. This is about commitment. Caitlin Clark has shown up for this team every night, even on bad shooting nights, even when the physical toll is clear. What Bonner did, it felt like a betrayal. And when you listen to Clark's recent interviews, the tone is sharp, focused, determined. There's a shift in how she talks about the team. It's now about those who actually want to be there, the ones putting in the work, the ones battling every quarter. That silence around Bonner's exit speaks louder than any press release could. Coaches didn't clarify. Her agent didn't deny the reports. And Clark? She never mentioned Bonner again. There's a reason for that. The trust was broken. And when trust breaks in a locker room, the entire foundation cracks. But here's where things get even more real. Because as soon as Bonner was officially gone, the Fever started playing faster. The bench looked more engaged. The team, even in losses, looked more like a unit. And that's where Clark's indirect message comes through. She's not just leading this team with her stats, she's leading with her energy, her fight, her refusal to coast through the season. Bonner might have been brought in for leadership, but Clark has become the emotional heartbeat of the Fever, and she's doing it without excuses. When DeWanna Bonner first arrived in Indiana, she was welcomed like royalty. Fans cheered her on, bought her jerseys, and praised the front office for bringing in a seasoned veteran to guide the Fever's promising young core. From day one, everyone believed this was a turning point. They thought her experience would push the team into championship conversations. But it didn't take long before cracks began to show. Bonner's production dipped. Her presence on the court didn't lift the team, it stalled them. Her role shifted, and rather than adapt or embrace the change, she quietly slipped away. The timing was telling. Caitlin Clark was returning from injury. The team was desperate to stabilize. Instead, they were left without their most experienced player, the very person who was supposed to lead in times like these. And what's worse, the way it unfolded, no goodbye, no post, no word of encouragement to the young players she was supposed to mentor. Just silence. Then, reports that she was actively seeking a trade, that she didn't want to be in Indiana, that she never really clicked with the locker room. For a team trying to build identity, that's devastating. And for Caitlin Clark, who already carries more pressure than any rookie should, it was a gut punch. This was the person she once said she wanted to win a ring for. This was the teammate she hoped would help her navigate the ups and downs of her rookie season. Now, Clark finds herself having to set the tone, not just on the scoreboard, but behind the scenes. Because what DeWanna Bonner left behind wasn't just a missing roster spot. It was a leadership vacuum, one that Clark is being forced to fill way earlier than expected. And to be fair, she's doing it. She's showing up in practice. She's taking accountability after tough losses. She's hyping up her teammates during timeouts. She's adjusting her game, even on nights when her shot isn't falling. She's still distributing, still defending, still leading. Meanwhile, the team has moved on. And it shows. The pace has picked up. The energy on the bench feels different. Players are hustling harder. There's more vocal leadership. The chemistry, while still forming, no longer feels weighed down. In many ways, Bonner's departure was addition by subtraction. Clark isn't saying that directly. She's far too professional. But her recent demeanor, her sharper responses to media questions, her tone when discussing what the team needs, it all points to one thing. She knows who's locked in and who wasn't. Even head coach Stephanie White has been noticeably more focused on the players who are present. There's no mention of Bonner, no update, no explanation. The Fever aren't looking back. And fans, they've started noticing too. At first, they were upset, confused, disappointed, but now they're rallying behind the team that stayed, the players that kept pushing, the young core that never folded, even as headlines and distractions swirled around them. This shift has put a spotlight on Clark's real value. She isn't just a scorer, she's a culture setter, and her handling of the Bonner situation proves it. There's no public feud, no drama, just a quiet pivot, a forward step, a statement without words. And while she might never explicitly blame Bonner, her actions tell the story. She's learned quickly that not everyone wants to be a part of the grind, that not everyone brought in to help actually helps. And she's responded in the only way she knows how, by pushing harder. But it's more than just basketball. What happened with Bonner created a wake-up call. This is the pros. Loyalty is fragile. Expectations get tested. Reputations change fast. And in the middle of it all, Clark is still standing, still growing, still learning, still carrying this franchise. That's what makes this next stretch of the season so important. Because now that the noise is dying down, the real test begins. Now that DeWanna Bonner is gone, the Indiana Fever are at a crossroads. But in that uncertainty, a quiet momentum is building, and Caitlin Clark is the center of it. The locker room, once clouded by confusion and tension, is beginning to reset, and the message is clear. No more distractions, no more excuses, only players who want to fight for this team. Clark hasn't said it directly, but the shift in her demeanor says enough. She's not just playing basketball anymore, she's setting a new standard for what it means to wear a Fever jersey. And after everything that's happened, the tough games, the lack of calls, the constant spotlight, she's still showing up, leading by example. When the team waived Bonner, they didn't just clear a contract, they removed a presence that wasn't aligned with their mission. Bonner came in saying she was all about championships. But the moment things didn't go her way, she stepped back. Leadership isn't about being on top. It's about staying present when things get hard. And that's where Clark shines. She's playing through the bumps, through the criticism, through the noise. Even when she has an off night, she's locked in. She keeps her teammates involved. She takes responsibility, she learns, adapts, and shows resilience. That's the kind of leadership that can't be faked, and that's why fans are standing behind her. You can feel the difference on the court. With Bonner gone, the ball moves quicker, the offense looks freer. Players like Ari McDonald are getting more minutes and bringing fresh energy. Natasha Howard and Sydney Colson are stepping up as steady voices. The team isn't perfect, and far from it, but they're starting to play like a unit that believes in each other. The Fever didn't just lose a player, they made a statement. And the way Caitlin has responded to all of it, without trash talk, without resentment, shows how much she's matured in such a short time. This league can be brutal. Players come and go, expectations rise and fall. But through it all, Clark is becoming more than just a star. She's becoming a symbol of perseverance, grit, and quiet accountability. When asked about the season, she doesn't point fingers.